Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
To Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have an incredible guest on the show today, Cynthia James. A great topic all around leadership and healing. Topics really close to my heart, so I'm really looking forward to that. We're streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. We're on E360 TV network, YouTube, we're on mspnewsglobal.com, Business Innovators Radio Network, and many more. Let's bring in our incredible guest, Cynthia James. Cynthia, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be with you.
I'm really looking forward to a conversation and a really interesting topic today, Cynthia. So let's get started with the show. You often say the past does not define us. I also say that as well. What moment in your life first proved that to you, not intellectually, but emotionally?
So I had a very violent and disruptive childhood, and had seen generations of women in my family having the same patterns of abuse and trauma and all of that. And I was an actress in California, and I went to therapy because I thought I need some help here because I keep repeating some of the same patterns. And it was during that process I started understanding neuropaths and that I could change the way I thought and the way that it impacted my body, therefore what I created. So for me, it was like, oh, I don't have to follow the same path as my family. I get to create my own path.
I really couldn't agree more. And I think sometimes these challenges when we're younger can be quite hard healing those. But I think sometimes it does definitely make us stronger and it takes us in a direction what we're meant to be on. So I always think there is a blessing in every stressing, Cynthia. And I totally agree. I think with the right kind of tools, the right kind of mentorship, the modalities, we can really shift out and create our own destiny. I truly, truly believe that's Cynthia. Do you?
100%. I am not living the same kind of life that the women in my family lived prior to me. I mean, it's a totally different life, and I have the tools for self-regulation and to make healthy choices. So I'm really grateful that there was a part of me that knew I needed to get help.
I agree totally. And I had a lot of CBT. That was really good for me as well. I think seeing a different perspective is really, really good because sometimes when we're stuck in trauma or old stories, you don't really see the real perspective. So when you do CBT, you get a wider view of things and you see the real perspective and you're like, oh, I was seeing this through the wrong lens all the time. I was seeing, and also it's important not to be a victim of our circumstances as well. So, Cynthia, you help leaders and everyday people integrate their emotions rather than suppress them. I think that's so, so important. What is one emotion people are most afraid to feel, and what happens when they finally allow it? And I've got to say, if this is fear, I totally relate to that as well.
Right. Well, I think people are afraid of anger. They're afraid that it will take them into some place that they do something that they'll regret. And so what I teach them is that anger is an emotion, but there's something beneath it. It could be a hurt. It could be a disappointment. It could be some kind of intellectual or mental abuse. But the thing is, if you run from it, it will just chase you and keep recreating itself. So for me, it's like, okay, let's get to it, and let's get to it in a healthy way so you understand it and you understand how to pull that plug so it no longer hijacks you.
I totally understand. I think I went through a big journey of where I let fear grow and I was believing every thought, and it made me hyper vigilant. I had a bit of PTSD where I was getting really bad hallucinations and believing every thought, and fear grows. And I had to work with neuroscientists. I had to have all kinds of different therapy, every kind of hypnosis. You name it, Cynthia, I did it. And I think what's really refreshing is when you learn that you're not the fear, you're the one observing it. So it's
Yes.
really great when you can just take a step back, and it's just like a cloud passing through you. It's not actually you, and it's about not believing it, but also understanding it as well, which you mentioned. That's so important. What is behind that fear? What's driving it? And when you can look at it and understand it, you realize it was only ever trying to protect you and keep you safe
Yes.
as well, Cynthia, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and the thing about it is that when you get to that point where you can observe, that's what quantum physicists tell us. Everything is energy and information till you observe it. So when you get to the point where you can observe that part, then you get to understand you're at choice.
I agree. I agree totally. Your life has moved from hiding to visibility, from fear to voice. What did it cost you to become fully seen, and what did it give you in return?
Ooh. Well, I had to really take a deep look at um, my self-sabotage patterns that I would have a great opportunity and I'd blow it up, or I'd pull back the energy. And it started when I was a teen, because the abuse when I was a kid, was like I was 6 years old. And so it cost me a lot of wonderful opportunities. But what it finally gave me was the understanding that I have to shift. I have to change my patterns, my way of looking at things, my own frequency, so that I can call in the frequency that I want to create the kind of life that I want. And it wasn't easy, but once I did that, it was so powerful because I didn't have to go back ever.
I agree totally. I don't think the journey is easy at all, and a lot of people do avoid facing it, unfortunately, Cynthia, because it can be really painful and you have to take every day as it comes. But I think as long as you're taking those small steps every day and staying consistent and doing the inner work, it's so rewarding and so worth it. It's not easy, and it is a lifelong journey as well. I don't think it's something that you ever complete. I think you just keep on evolving and it keeps on improving and getting better. And you say you never go back, which is amazing as well. You've worked with leaders, educators, women around the world. What is the quiet struggle you see almost everyone carrying right now? And what is the invitation hidden inside it?
I have a podcast called Women Awakening, and I've interviewed women all around the world, and the biggest thing is if I'm going to call it the triad: self love, self care, self worth, because those three things. Um, if you don't think you're worthy, then you don't think you're worthy of self care or self love. And so then you become an energetic magnet and you pull in those things that prove you right. But if you get to the point where you understand that those are the frequencies and the energies that are running you, then you can start to make a different choice and start to have goals to shift it. And what I tell all of my clients is, You don't have to do a quantum leap. Let's start small and let's learn tools and skills to take you to the place where you put yourself first. You love yourself. I wrote a book called I Choose Me for women. And it's like you choose yourself first because then that impacts everything around you.
I agree totally. And I think it's about taking those small steps and not seeing a big mountain in front of you and just taking little steps every single day. It all compounds. Another thing I found really helpful for me, Cynthia, was um, what I was putting into my body. Like, I think I got to a point where I was still struggling a little bit. So, nutrition for me, when I started taking a few different supplements. Like I had like a mushroom 5 compound where I was taking like Lionsgate mushroom, chaga, and I've just recently introduced saffron, which is a really powerful spice that has been known to be as powerful as antidepressants without any of the side effects. It's actually really good for you. And when I started doing these nutritional things, it was like I found that missing piece that just helped my mind and my body become so much more in sync. I don't know whether you've ever experienced anything like that, Cynthia.
Well, I totally have. A number of years ago, I had created what I called my dream job, right? And I was feeling tired all the time, and my husband encouraged me to go just have a checkup. And what they discovered was they said I was headed towards something called Addison's disease, which is adrenal failure, right? And he said you got to change your lifestyle. And so there was a 3 month sabbatical, and during that time, I realized that I was kind of headed down the same path as the women in my family, and so changed the diet, the up level the supplements, went and got a trainer to go to the gym, 3 4 times a week. And what I realized is that the body will respond to how I take care of it. So those supplements and that food and that exercise and my sleep made a world of difference so that when I went back, I could reverse that whole thing with the adrenals.
I totally relate to that. Now, if every listener could leave this conversation with one practice to help them live with more courage and compassion tomorrow morning, what would you want them to do first, Cynthia?
Well, the first thing I would say is have a journal next to your bed. And it doesn't mean you have to be an expert journaler. But when you wake up in the morning, the first thing, write down an affirmation today. I am brilliant today. I am healthy today. I am vibrant today. And I am going to step into this day with such energy and vitality. By starting those kinds of affirmations and by your writing it balances the hemispheres of the brain. So you are automatically putting that energy forward as you step into the day.
Oh, I have to agree. I think what you wake up on is so important. Those first things you do when you very first wake up in that great hypnotic state as well. Cynthia, I've thoroughly enjoyed having a conversation with you. Now, I know people who have connected with you today might want to reach out and connect with you so they can go to cynthiajames.net. That's cynthiajames.net. Cynthia, who would you love to reach out to you? Who's that one person that you really feel you could help, who you would love to get in touch with you?
I guess what I'd like to say is if you know within yourself that you're magnificent and powerful, but you don't know how to express it, I would love to have a conversation with you. I would love to sit down and see if it's a fit to support you because that dream, that energy, that desire that lives within you is just waiting for the portal, is just waiting for the doorway. And I would be so honored to work with you.
I thoroughly enjoyed having a conversation with you today. Cynthia, I have really enjoyed this conversation. I think what we have spoken about has so many incredible words of wisdom, words of golden nuggets. And I also think so many people will relate to this. People maybe they're struggling right now and they need your support. I would encourage everyone to go to cynthiajames.net. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Cynthia.
Loved every moment of it, Mark. Thank you for doing this work.
The pleasure has been all ours. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.